Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor, and it's time for more Scuttlebutt. It's been kind of a slow week news-wise. We don't really have a lot to talk about, but I've got a few subjects I want to cover. In the meantime, we're going to show you some, a bit of the highlight reel. We got a whole bunch of new test boats at the end of last week, right after the patch dropped, one of which is this baby right here. This is Tier 10 Premium Japanese Super Cruiser, I guess, Yoshino. This is the Tier 10 version of Azuma. This is literally my very first game in the ship. Now, I come into this game, I have a very low opinion of Azuma. I've never really... I struggled with her when they moved her to Tier 9. It just felt like she took damage from every little bloody shell that hit her. I just really struggled with the ship for whatever reason. But tonight, playing this thing, I played all 5 games. I played 5 games. They were all wins. They were all really solid games, 130, 140, 150,000 damage or more. She really surprised me, and I think maybe it's because of how I played the ship. I played her super passive early, which is generally not how I like to play cruisers, but I know how vulnerable this thing is to getting focused off the board. So I intentionally hung back almost every game and really only kind of got pushed up into mid-range about the last third of the match. So the ship really surprised me. Her big differences between the big difference between Azuma and Yoshino is Yoshino has torpedoes. She has 2 quadruple racks on each side with really, really good firing arcs, and these are 20-kilometer torpedoes. These are essentially the Type 93s that Shimakaze starts with. I did some digging. Even the guns and shells are identical, all the way down to the weight of the shell, the corrupt value, and the air drag coefficient. So these literally are the exact same guns you have on Azuma. And Yoshino's AA is noticeably better. For some reason, I cannot put my finger on, this ship simply felt better to me to play than Azuma. I literally can't explain why. Like I said earlier, I got to where I really disliked Azuma, but I really, really enjoy this ship right now. So enjoy the game, and we'll talk more about her later. I've got some more videos planned for this. So 8.3, of course, is here. We talked about that last week. We came in with the video right after patch day. Lots of content in the game right now. The big Honor and Glory event still going on. Really, really, really well done event. I'm really enjoying this. It is so much better executed than the Sharks versus Eagle event from last summer. The scaling difficulty for one of these, when one team just goes on a win streak 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row, it continues to get harder and harder and harder. And there's actually incentives to pick the other side, the other team that's been losing. It's just nice to see that they've finally corrected some of these mistakes in balance with how these team events work. And I'm a huge fan of this system. It's working out really well, and I'm having a ton of fun with it. I did manage to get some test games in with Benham and the 2 French destroyers we have on this past Tuesday night stream. That is Mogador and Kleber. I've gotten enough content to do a builder's trial video now for Yoshino. I'm going to focus on Benham and do that one probably next. So I'm hoping to get those out in the next week or so. So keep your eyes open, and I'm going to work on that. Hopefully get that started over the weekend and go from there. They added some Azure Lane ships to the premium store this week. That is AL Montpellier and AL Yukikaze. Along with some fancy containers. So if this is your thing, if you love Azure Lane and you're into all of that, well, hey man, there's some content for you now. I've got some opening videos for those containers and the Soviet-era containers that I need to finish editing. I'll get those up hopefully on the weekend or early next week. So I've got quite a few videos like in the pipeline here. I'm trying to get back into the rotation after losing April to a variety of real life events. Quick note, by the way, on the Montpellier, the Azure Lane Montpellier, and USS Wichita. Currently, Wargaming told us this today, their radar is bugged. It has 10-kilometer range. It should be 9-kilometer range. This is a mistake that's going to be corrected in a future patch, ostensibly 8.4, I assume. So if you recently bought one of these, you can get a full refund through literally midnight today, Friday, the 3rd of May. After that, I think they won't be giving refunds anymore, so they're trying to let everybody know as quick as they can. But so don't dawdle. If you bought one of those ships and you don't like the fact they're going to end up nerfing her radar, well, you can get your money back. So get that done. We've got plenty of more boats to test still. I got to get in games in Georgia and Yoshino on stream. I'm planning on doing that next Tuesday, so drop on by if you're interested in seeing them in action. So 8.3, lots of good stuff going on. Really good event right now, and lots of things for us to test and show off to you guys. Anchors Away starting very soon. We talked about this last week. The first stop of the tour, now only a week away, basically. Coming up in at USS New Jersey next weekend on Saturday, the 11th of May. If you're going, enjoy the trip. It's going to be a blast. The NA community team does a great job putting those on, and you're going to have a great time. So definitely go and check that out. I believe the last I heard, No Zoop for You and Ashley, aka Ashley, we're going to be attending, representing the NACCs. So stop in and say hello. One of the things about being this community contributor gig is that we get to meet everybody, right? We get to meet people and interact with the audience and the crowd and just get to know you guys, right? Like it's, we do this stuff partly because we love the game, but partly because you guys, tell us how much you enjoy it. So, give that feedback in person when you can, right? Like go up to them, engage them, let them know that you like something they're doing, you don't like something they're doing, there's something you wish they did different or something you wish they did at all. And just, that's how we as CCs are able to better serve you guys in the community. So definitely take that opportunity. So if you're going to USS New Jersey, have a great time. If you're not going to be able to make that one, hopefully you can make one of the other stops on the tour. I'll put the link down below. Go check that out, and hopefully we'll see you over the summer. We added a new CC to the program this week. Speaking of community contributors, Static the Warmonger joining the ranks of the North American CCs. Really glad to see him come on board. I was clanned up with him a while ago, a number of years ago now, back in Task Force Apocalypse, and he's really good people. He does a lot of good work on Twitch. I'll put a link down to his Twitch stream below. Definitely go check him out, give him a little love, say hello, welcome him to the program, and just keep an eye out because I expect good things there. Our big topic of the week, right? I've always got to come up with something what am I going to ramble on about? I got 10 minutes to fill. Oh my lord. I was browsing the forums this week, and I don't do a lot of that anymore. I've just kind of shied away from them, certainly the last 3 or 4 months since the rework. But I know that there's quite a number of folks that still go to the forums as a main source of news. And I was over there just poking around, and I noticed a thread that Little White Mouse had started. And this is... normally she doesn't do this unless she's posting one of her actual content. She's posting a ship review or something like this. And it caught my curiosity, so I clicked on it. And it was essentially kind of her lamenting the state of the community's collective, how they're responding to the current state of the rework. So I gotta back up here. Like if you're on NA, you probably have heard of Mouse, right? Like you know her, I would hope. She does amazing work with her in-depth premium ship reviews. For my money, she has one of the best brains playing the game today, both in terms of understanding how the game works and the mechanics and how it all fits together, but also her ability to come up and suggest new and interesting ideas, fun mechanics, ways to improve the game. She has a very agile brain in this department, if you ever get the chance to hear her talk about it or engage her. She literally does get my money because I am one of her Patreon supporters. And if you aren't, my question to you is, why the hell are you not? If you have ever made a decision to buy or not to buy a premium ship in this game based on her work, you absolutely owe it to yourself to chip in even just $1 a month, if that's all you can spare, to help support what she does. So drop what you're doing right now. Seriously, pause this video, go down below, find the link, and go over there and sign up to become a patron of Mouse because she is amazing and she deserves your money. I'll be right here when you get back. Take your time. You good? We good? You guys taking care of that? All right, good. So, I'm bringing this up, like I said, because of a post on the forums. I'll link it down below. But essentially, this thread is now 44 pages long, which obviously demonstrates the amount of passion, frustration. I don't really know how to phrase it exactly anymore. It seems like everybody's got so many emotions wrapped up. Everybody's so invested in the game, right? There's a lot of people that are super passionate about this game, but the current state of carriers just has the game, like everybody's separated into 3 camps, it seems, right? You're either 100% against it, you hate it, you think it's the stupidest, worst thing that wargaming has ever done. On the other side, you're in this is the best thing since sliced bread, it's amazing, and I love every bit of it. And in the middle are the people that are like, well, it's not bad, it's not great, it's got some things that I like about it, some things that I don't like, but we're not quite there, and, so on and so forth. And Mouse is like, the role that she has, she's very high visibility, certainly on the forums with the work she does with the reviews. She gets a lot of people that engage her and reach out to her and talk to her. But you can sense the frustration, right? You can sense the frustration that she has. And she posts about this because the feedback that she's getting, the feedback that we're all getting as CCs, honestly, is so, I don't even know how to say it. Skewed is not the word I want to use, right? But it's so vitriolic. People are just raging, right? And it makes it very difficult for us to take that feedback and carry it to the community team, the global community team, the devs that we interact with over on the CC Discord, because it's not rational, right? It's not worded correctly. It's not worded in a way that it's digestible, right? There's actionable things that can be done. Honestly, it's just ranting half the time. And we in the CC program, we're 4 months into this now, 3.5 months into this now, whatever. And it feels like we're at the sharp end of the spear. People think we have some kind of influence. I think sometimes they think we have more influence than we really do, but that's a different topic. And so, we try to express this back, but it's difficult when all we get is just irrational ravings. It feels to me like we're at peak frustration with the entire process now. I'm there. Like, I am there. I've said this. I briefly touched on this last week. I'm there. I'm kind of at my peak in dealing with this. I'm tired of messing with this, and I think I'm not alone. And for me, my frustration is everybody's allowing that frustration to spill out into their conversations with other players. But the players aren't the ones making these decisions, guys. Right? Like, yelling at the other players in the game and TKing the carrier on your team because he's playing carriers, and you think that's okay, which, by the way, that's never okay, just FYI. That's, guys, we got to do better, right? Like, we have to continue to focus on providing feedback, even if we're literally repeating ourselves. Even if all we're doing is repeating what we've already said. We've got to focus on giving that feedback back to the devs and the regional community teams. Yelling at each other and beating up each other and tearing each other down over stuff that we can't control and we don't get to make decisions about. We don't design the game, guys. Is pointless and destructive, right? We have a really good community. We need to keep it that way. So, I guess this is kind of an appeal to rationalism, right? Like, it sounds ridiculous on the internet. Like, here's somebody you don't know, and here I am trying to basically appeal to everybody's as better nature. But the message I really want folks to take away from my rambling right now is this. Please, 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 whatever you do, start focusing the energy that you have on communicating with the community teams on whatever server you play on. If it's NA, that's Femininely and Radar and Kami. And if you're on EU, that's Conway and Chrysantos and those guys. Give them all of the feedback that you can. It's literally their job to hear it, gather it up, and send it along. The trick is this. It has to be respectfully and rationally worded. Vitriolic screeching, and they're just going to click past it and never think of it again. Remember a few months ago, I posted a Scuttlebutt, back in Scuttlebutt 10, and I mentioned Raptor's patented method for providing meaningful feedback, right? I had at least several people comment on that video that were told me I sounded like an arrogant prick. And yet, if you go into some of these forums, these forum threads, you'll find people like Femininely saying almost exactly the same thing that I said in that video, step by step. Here is how you need to present your feedback to us so that we can capture it and send it on to the devs. I'll put a link down below. If you literally want to go watch that, I'll even link to the exact moment of the video so you can skip over all the boring crap, right? But I talk about this for like 90 seconds or 2 minutes, and I say, guys, look, here's what you got to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And if you click on this forum thread down below in the subject that we're talking about, you're going to see a post from Fem that says almost the exact same thing. So, guys, I guess we're all frustrated, right? Like, we're all at a point now where I think we're ready for this roller coaster ride. Carriers are good, carriers are bad, carriers are OP, carriers suck, whatever. Like, we need this to level out, okay? We're all ready for that ride to be over. But yelling at each other and screaming at each other about it is not going to fix it, right? We have to continue to stay focused on constructive feedback to the right people to get it back to the right team, the dev team, the right people on the dev team in St. Petersburg, to get things fixed, addressed, tuned, whatever the thing is. Screaming at each other and TKing each other, whatever is not going to fix it. You've got to take your emotions out of the equation and just try and get that done. I don't know what else to say. I hate seeing players tear each other down because we have such a great community, right? I've spent a lot of time, right, with the King of the Seas and the various other tournaments we've organized. I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of different people in this community. It's a really good group of people. But we can't afford to tear each other apart over changes to the game that we don't get to decide. Like we don't make these decisions. So just take a deep breath, relax, focus your frustration where it can do the most good, and let everybody else play their game, right? Somebody logs into your game playing a midway, and gosh darn it, you just got wrecked and dunked on by a midway, man. Let that guy be. He's just playing the game. He's one more data point for Wargaming to hopefully decide some way to adjust this thing and smooth it all out when the time comes. So anyway, that's enough of that. I'll just drop that topic and we'll get on with life. One last thing I want to mention, of course, it is Friday, May the 3rd. Tomorrow, this whole coming weekend, we're going to be streaming on YouTube for Torpedoes for Troops. That is Operation Supply Drop's World of Warships stream. I think it's going to run about 30 or 40 hours straight, recording over the course of the weekend. I've got a block. I think Ashley's got a block. I know Jingles has got a block. Grigor and Black Eagle Ops. There's quite a number of recognizable names from the Twitch streamer community that you'll see. We'll all be over on the 8-Bit Salute channel at various points. I'm going to be on from 9 p.m. to midnight Saturday night. That's 9 p.m. to midnight Central Time, U.S. Central Time. I'll post a link down below. So come on by, say hi. If you've got some coins laying around, you want to donate to the charity, please do so. They're going to be giving away at least a number of premium ships over the weekend. I think they have quite a few USS Texases to give away, which is awesome. Texas is a great premium. And if nothing else, just come out and say hi, hang with us. I'll do some test boats, and we'll do some ship voting, and I'm sure somebody will make me play Emerald, and it'll be a blast. So come on by and say hello. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Yoshino game. I certainly enjoy this ship. For whatever reason, I cannot explain. It feels so much better than Azuma. So I'm really looking forward to. Honestly, for me, I think the ship's fine like it is. I wouldn't touch a thing. I'd say just release it. We're done. And I hope they do, because I think this ship will be a lot of fun to play. So anyways, guys, that's it. I will catch you next week. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time.